So let me introduce you, Mr. Ben Redwood. Come on stage.
I'm coming. Hold on. Go, bossy man for a day.
So it's good to see you there.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
What can we expect from your talk now, Mr. Redwood?
The future of manufacturing. So strap yourselves in on this Wednesday afternoon and prepare to be amazed.
Okay, you know the future. We are amazed. And
thank you very much.
Mr. Ben Redwood.
Right, so thank you everyone for being here. I will keep this short and sweet because I know it's nearly bear o'clock and that's what everyone's got their mind on. I also have a funny accent, as you can probably tell, so if I speak too fast, just put your hand up and I will slow down because I get quite excited about this topic and very enthusiastic about what we're doing at 3D Hubs because I truly believe that this is the future of manufacturing and this is where we are heading as a manufacturing industry. And again, I believe that 3D Hubs is at the forefront of this. And I'm going to tell you the story about why we believe this is so and give you some examples about other manufacturing networks like 3D Hubs, other networks and marketplaces like 3D Hubs that have been very disruptive in their industry and why they've been disruptive. Right, so 3D Hubs, we're a firm believer in marketplaces. We really believe they remove friction, they open up transparency, and they give consumers a lot of choice. And I think that's very important for customers in any industry in 2019. You want choice and you want confidence in whatever you're being shown, that it's the truth and it's something that you understand and you get your head around. And that's what we're doing at 3D Hubs. So on 3D Hubs, we're a completely online platform and we're an online manufacturing solution. That all sounds like a mouthful, but I'll explain that and what it means. Basically, we have a large network of certified manufacturing partners that we work with all around the world, and we go through and we accredit them, we audit them, we certify them. And when you're a customer, you come to 3D Hubs, and one of the requirements on our website is that you have a 3D file. We're not a design company. You have to come to us with a file. You can easily upload it to our platform, and we'll show you an instant price within 5 seconds. We'll analyze your design for manufacture within 5 seconds, and we'll show you lead times within 5 seconds as well. And all this happens straight away, so you can make quick decisions about putting parts into production. And then when it goes in production, we have a large network of manufacturing partners we work with, and because we have a large network, we have instant capacity everywhere. And that means that we can often move your parts into production within 5 minutes. Things happen very quickly, and this is where we think the future of manufacturing is. So there are a few good examples of industries that have done this before. And one of my favorites, very cliche, is Uber. So let's think back. And we have to go outside of Germany here because I had to catch a taxi today, believe it or not. But catching a taxi about 10 years ago was a nightmare. You'd turn up, you wouldn't know how much your ride was going to cost. You wouldn't know what time the car was going to be there to pick you up. You wouldn't know exactly when you were going to be dropped off. This industry was ripe for disruption. Along came Uber. They had a concept where they would find a driver with a car who had capacity, and they'd pair you up with as a customer who wanted to take a ride. We're doing the same thing with manufacturing. Now when you book a taxi or you book an Uber, you get shown the price straight away, so you know how much it's going to cost. So as a consumer, you can make the smart decision as to whether you want to book your ride now. The other cool thing Uber does, there's surcharges and prices, so it reflects what's going on in the market. Same thing happens on 3D Hubs. I'll explain that in a minute. But you also see exactly when you're going to get picked up. You see exactly when you're going to get dropped off. And all of this has opened this box, this little black box that used to be the taxi industry, where you never knew if you were getting a fair price, and are they taking me on a crazy ride around someplace strange, to make it all transparent so that we can make smart decisions. Another good example I like to look at for a marketplace is Booking.com. So again, if you go back pre-internet days and you wanted to book a hotel, you'd have to ring them all up, you'd have to shop around to see where you could find the best price. And maybe the hotel had a deal, maybe the local tourism agency had a deal, but you had to contact all these places to find out how could I get the best price for my hotel. Booking.com, which is a Dutch company, came along and they consolidated this all into one place. So now when you log on to Booking.com, you're shown all the options of all the hotels. The hotel you click on, you're shown all the options of different agencies that allow you to book through that, and you can make a smart decision on how much it costs and when you want to go and see pricing and make these kind of choices. And again, putting the power in the customer's hands, putting the power in the consumer's hands. This is what marketplaces are good at. Finally, and my favorite example, is the stock market. So if I wanted to buy Apple shares back in the day, I'd have to go and find a trader, and I'd have to go into his shop, and I'd need to talk to him, and I'd say, hi, I'd like to buy shares. And he would say, okay, well, right now, this is the price these are trading for, and you can buy these, and I wouldn't have too many options for research to go around, and I could look at what was, but I couldn't really look at what was available in the market. And then the person who walked into the shop right after me also had no idea what the price I'd just paid. They had no idea the price that they were going to pay. They had no idea the price the person after them was going to pay. And so as a result, stocks could be traded at completely different prices depending on what day of the week it was or what was going on. What the stock market's done is it's put all these stocks into one transparent place. So again, we see exactly what's happening. We see trends in pricing. We see whether we want to buy today or whether we want to wait till tomorrow. And again, this is what we're doing on 3D Hubs with our pricing algorithm. So this is the stock market industry, the hotel industry, and the ride-sharing or travel service industry, right? These things have all been disrupted. Nothing quite like the manufacturing industry. The manufacturing industry globally is $13 trillion. It absolutely is significantly larger than all these other industries, except for the stock market, of course. And we believe that this is the next big industry that's going to be disrupted with marketplaces and with distributed services. And this is what 3D Hubs is doubling down on, and this is what we truly believe is the future. So here's an example of something I did on the train ride here today. I had this 3D printed aluminium fan. I looked at some of the local suppliers that we work with on their websites to see how they price at this part. But I uploaded it not through 3D Hubs, I just went through and asked for quotes. These are the prices that I got back. And you can see there's a large variation here, up to 300% of difference across price. Why is this the case? Well, some of these suppliers might need to order this material in. Some of these suppliers might not have any capacity right now. Some of them might offer me a very short lead time at a very high price, but I don't know if that's fair. I don't know what's going on there. And so within the manufacturing industry, 3D Hubs believes there are two things that we need to figure out to really be disruptive. And the first one is price and price transparency. And this is really, really important because going to 3 suppliers and looking up different prices every time and getting this type of range is a lot of work. It takes a lot of time for an engineer or a designer to do. And they never really know what's fair. They don't know, am I paying a good price here? I don't know. How does metal 3D printing price this? We don't know what the suppliers are doing. The other area that we really think is ready for disruption in the manufacturing industry is manufacturability. And this is slightly more complicated than pricing because there are a large range of variables that can be taken into factor when you're designing something to be manufactured. And if you're talking about multiple technologies like 3D Hubs, we do CNC machining, we do 3D printing, and we do injection molding. There's a huge range of design variables in there that mean whether a part can be manufactured or not. And so this is the next thing we want to save. And so we use some smart tools to analyze the parts that our suppliers that our customers upload for 30 different variables, and we give them instant feedback on whether their design is actually something they can produce, and they can use this feedback to go away and iterate their design to make it cheaper or to make it more manufacturable. Right, so as a result of all of this, there's no universally agreed upon price for manufacturing that fairly reflects supply and demand in the global marketplace, and this is what we think we can solve. Right, so how do we do this with pricing? So first of all, 3D Hubs is about 6 years old. We're based in Amsterdam. We're a team of around 80 people. We also have a small Chicago office. But we've been doing this for a while, and that means we've had around 3 million parts uploaded to our website over the 6 years we've been active. That's a lot of data points. And data is one of the hottest commodities in 2019. You can make a lot of cool decisions and do a lot of agile things if you've got good data sets. And we do. So when we price a part on 3D Hubs, what we do is we look at parts we've sold previously that have been accepted by our suppliers, that have similar geometries, similar materials, are in a similar location, are ordered at the same time of year. And we take all this into account and we average or use an algorithm to take all this pricing and instantly price the part that the customer's uploaded. So we don't have a group of 100 engineers sitting in a dark room furiously working on Excel spreadsheets trying to write out quotes. This is all done instantly within 5 seconds by a smart algorithm. And going back to my stock market example, the result of this is that we become the stock market for manufacturing. So we don't influence this price. It's what we're selling things to a customer for and what our suppliers are picking them up for that represents the price that you see up here. And that means that it's a fair representation of what the market wants to produce those parts for and what the customer is willing to pay for them. And that to me is a huge plus in the manufacturing industry. A cool example we have, if the price of aluminium goes up, our price for aluminium parts goes up because that's reflected by our suppliers and what they're bidding on when they're buying orders on 3D Hubs, and that comes straight back to our suppliers. And so we update our pricing automatically with an algorithm every week, feeding back all the deals we've sold in the previous week, and that means it's very dynamic and it's very much like a stock market. It's alive, but it's a fair representation of the price. And as a result of this as well, we've learned how to price parts. So we have over 60 materials available on our website, on our checkout. We also now quote 98% of the parts you upload instantly. So we can analyze them for a large number of features to really get smart about how we price. And I think the key to this is speed. If you're uploading parts and you come to something like 3D Hubs, you expect to see things quickly. And fortunately for us, 98% of the time, we can quote that for you. The other 2%, we have a team of very smart mechanical engineers who jump in and help you out with your pricing there and work with our suppliers to build a quote. Right, so as I said, the other cool thing about this is that the price is dynamic, so it can change. So just like if you go onto Google Flights and you want to book a flight, and you can see, okay, no, the price is quite high this week, I might wait a week until I fly. The same thing on 3D Hubs. You can upload your parts, you can see what it was valid for. We'll honor any quote for 30 days. So and let's say you come back in 2 weeks' time and you upload your parts again and it's more expensive, our original quote stands, but if it's cheaper, you just scrap the old quote and use the new quote to upload, you can order your parts. Again, this type of marketplace, this fluctuation, really opens up and kind of adds transparency to the whole marketplace. Right, the other cool thing we do, as I said, is we do design for manufacture. So we analyze your parts on a number of features. So here's an example of a 3D printed part that's been uploaded to our website. We're analyzing here for hard to remove support material. So this is an FDM print. We're also analyzing for thin walls, so areas that we think might have trouble printing in terms of detail. And we're analyzing for intricate details, so areas that might fail when they're 3D printed with FDM. You can see this passes the thin wall and intricate detail check that we do, but up the top we've got some hard to remove support response and a banana for measure, because everyone loves a bit of scale. We're all nerdy engineers at the end of the day. So you can make a decision, okay, I see this as hard to remove support material. Do I want to redesign my part to eliminate that? Or am I okay to take that risk, knowing that I might get a worse surface finish in that area where the support's located? Again, letting customers and consumers making these types of decisions and giving them instant feedback on this is key to what 3D Hubs is doing. So we did a bit of research into the industry. We placed a few orders with some traditional manufacturing companies just to get an understanding of what the market's like. How do we compare to what's going on? And this was the standard funnel for ordering on CNC parts. We had 5 CNC parts machined in aluminium. Typically, you're going into your network or you're reaching out to customers and you're trying to find people that are available for around 4 days when you want to start getting quotes. Then you're doing design for manufacturer analysis. So this is done with the manufacturer that you've selected, and you're working together to make sure that they can produce the parts. If they don't have 5-axis machining, you can't upload a 5-axis part with them. You have to redesign your part to suit their capabilities, something you don't have to do on 3D Hubs because of our large network. Then you spend about 3 days quoting. Everyone loves the quoting process, back and forth, bartering with them, trying to get the price down, they're trying to get the price up. Payment, 2 days, depending on where you are in the world, and then into the manufacturing queue. You never go into production straight away. You're always sitting there waiting for the option to open up in the job schedule so that you can move into production. How do we change that? This is things on 3D Hubs. We do all of this in less than 5 minutes. So everything we had on this last slide, supplier selection, design for manufacture, quoting, payment, manufacturing queue, 5 minutes, boom. Straight away you are there. And on average, we put parts into production on CNC machining within 5 hours. And on 3D printing, we do it in around 3 hours. So things move very fast and your parts go into production. For CNC machining, we average 10 days for production. We also have 5 and 15-day options. For 3D printing, we can go as low as 2 days, depending on where you are and what your technology is. Injection molding, we can do 4 to 6 weeks if your geometry lines up with our offering as well. All this much, much easier. And it just lets you decide what you want to do. Some of the cool stories I hear about people that use our website, they'll upload 5 designs of the same part, all with slight variations. Maybe one's got a chamfer, one's got rounds, maybe one has no threads and one has threads because you can do threading capabilities in-house. And you can just quickly decide based on the price we show you whether that fits within your budget and it's the price you want to commit to. And using our tool to really iterate and get smart about your design is a whole nother feature outside downside of just being able to work fast and get things into production quickly. So on the backside, what actually happens with our suppliers, and I think this is something people are always interested about, and the standard question I always get from the audience is, how do you control quality? How do you make sure that people produce parts to specification? So we have a very strict onboarding process. So first of all, any supplier can come in and apply to our website. They go through an application process online. It's then reviewed by our supply chain management team. At that point, they'll ring the potential supplier if they think that they're a good fit and talk with them about why they want to work with 3D Hubs, what their goals are. After that, if that all goes well, we'll typically visit their factory. We'll do an audit of their factory. Then we'll send them test parts to complete. And if that all goes well and we can see their quality's up to what we expect, then we slowly introduce them into our platform. They get low value orders for the first month or so to really figure out how things work and what the experience is like. And then we ramp them right up and right up. And if their metrics are good, they have low dispute rates, they're delivering parts on time, then basically we give them access to everything. And yeah, that's really the kind of process we follow, and we always keep strict control, do monthly reporting to see how they're going, and something we take very, very seriously. How does it work as a supplier? So the moment that you as a customer click the in production button, your order flies off into the interweb, and if a supplier has indicated to us they can do that material, they can meet those tolerances, they have that technology available, it'll appear on their job board, and it's shown to all the suppliers that have indicated they can do that type of orders job board. They'll all see it at once, and they can bid on an order. They can accept it, they can counterbid, or they can decline it. If they accept it, it goes into their system straight away, and we expect them to start production on that and deliver within the 10-day lead time. If they decline, there's no penalty. We don't mind. We want them to decline because that means we're learning from them about what they want to do and what they don't want to do, and we could be smarter about what we send them in the future. And our suppliers love it. Suppliers typically aren't good at sales, they're typically not good at marketing, they're typically not that good at supply chain management. These are things that we're all good at, and we just let them do the manufacturing. We send them highly qualified leads from customers that have already paid, and they just get to sit back and produce parts and deliver them through 3D Hubs. So a really nice, harmonious relationship there. Cool, so what does it look like if you want to place an order on 3D Hubs? So you'll come down and select the technology you want to produce your part with. Here, you'll jump on in and you'll upload your file. You can see we have CNC machining selected up top here. Instantly, we show you a price. Over here, you can vary through all the materials we offer for CNC machining. Easily change the surface finish down here. Again, the moment you do any of this, the price updates straight away. You can also jump in. If you tick threads or tolerances, we require you to upload a drawing. We need those for manufacturing the parts, and that gets sent on to our supplier. And we also show you instant bulk pricing. So you can make a decision, okay, I want economies of scale out of this. If I order 10, I can save a lot. And again, you'll get instant feedback as soon as you update your quantity. Here you can see we've got some hard to remove volume up the top. We're analyzing for whether this needs 3-axis or 5-axis CNC machining. We're also checking for thin walls or internal corners. All these can affect price. All of these are things we give feedback to our customer on to make decisions. And here you can see the hard to remove volume in the middle of the part. Does the customer want a redesign to take that out? Are they happy with the extra cost that this adds? If so, no problem. They can come straight through and accept the order and put it straight into production with 3D Hubs once we've got their information. You can see there's no internal corners on this part, so it passes all these checks. Right, so where are we? We are in the coolest booth of the show. We're in Hall 2, booth 513, right bang smack in the middle there. We would love to see you. A couple of things we're doing. We have written a book on designing for 3D printing. It is a bestseller on Amazon. If you come and see us, we'll give you a free copy. You've just got to ask us a good question. Spread the word. We have a lot of these books to give away. We'd love to see everyone leaving the conference with one. Secondly, we have one of our key supply chain managers here. He's looking for people who think they'd be good fits for suppliers of 3D Hubs. So come up and shake our hand and give us your business card. But we're most excited about customers. If you think you'd be a good customer, if you want to be part of the future of manufacturing, we'd love to come and see you. Come and grab a cold drink, shake our hand, play around with our website, and learn about the future. Thank you very much. Thanks, mate.
Mr. Ben Redwood, he's talking for us, so sorry for that. So we heard free books at the booth?
Yeah, free books at the booth. You come and see us, we'll give you a free book. You've got to leave your business card, that's all we ask.
So let me place the first question. That looks amazing for me, but that's a worldwide platform, I guess. So how's your plan in Germany?
Sorry?
How's the plan for the platform in Germany?
Oh, funny you should ask, Manfred. Actually, we're building a German team here at the moment, led by Manfred. I think Germany is a big focus for us. We know how important this is within the European market, and so we are doubling down on marketing efforts, on supply chain here. And to say that Germany is the strategic focus of 2019 for 3D Hubs, I think is a fair call.
So if you need a job, we are also hiring right now at 3D Hubs.
Yes,
so are there any questions in the audience? So you're looking for the free book, go to the booth, get your free book. A question here, yeehaw.
Hi there.
Hi.
I work at the university, and I help students producing 3D parts on 3D printers.
Yep.
So quite a lot of time goes into checking if the file's actually producible or printable.
Great.
So are you fine in, for me, telling the students that they use 3D Hubs to upload their files just to check if they're printable?
Of course. Yeah, no problem at all. I think our tool is there. It's free to use. I would argue you should also use it to shop around and look for the most competitive quote online. We're very confident with our pricing. I think this is a marketplace. We want to encourage competition, but at the same time, it's a fantastic educational tool. And Amanda and our marketing team produces amazing content online for students as well, where we have a lot of articles about how to design or specific applications for 3D printing. So we embrace the education industry, and we'd say utilize this as much as you want. It's there for a reason.
Isn't there competition for students?
Yeah, actually, a good point. We're also running a student grant at the moment. If you Google 3D Hubs student grant, we're giving away a reasonable cash prize to some of the best 3D printing industries from around the world. And these we really push these with our marketing team and with PR. They do very well. Some have been covered by the Discovery Channel or CNN in the past. So great exposure for students who are working on some cool projects.